Hello and welcome to another episode of the podcast. How the devil are you? So I'm just sat here now, here being outside my son's school. Now without boring you to death, there is a crazy issue with parking. So to actually get into the car park, I'm not even joking, you have to turn up an hour before you pick the kids up. They're telling me it's work in progress, but for now, this is what I need to do. So I was just sat here, and normally what I do is I just bring some work and, I might write some emails or do some admin or whatever. But I don't know what's happened to my phone, but recently I get zero signal in the car park. So I've got my cup of tea, I sat in the car, I've not brought a pen, I haven't brought a notebook, and I was like, what can I do? And I thought, do you know what? What I could do is record an episode of the podcast. But what crept into my head was these wanky thoughts that I keep talking about. And I was thinking, yeah, but I can't do it in the car, can I? Because that's well unprofessional. I'm sat here in my big coat, so if I move about, you're going to hear the coat. I haven't brought my microphone, so the sound might not be great. And then I was thinking, oh my God, this is what I talk about. I talk about ditching this idea that everything has to be perfect. Otherwise, it bloody paralyses you. And I thought, do you know what? That is what I'm going to talk about today, because I need to take my own medicine. I need to stop worrying about things being perfect. So, and I'm quite passionate about this because I am, how do I describe it? A recovering perfectionist. So I used to think that, if everything, emails and launches and podcasts and content, everything would have to be exact. Everything would have to be polished. Otherwise, nobody would like me. Nobody would want to work with me. People would think I'm unprofessional. And I'm pleased to say, or this is what I think is happening anyway, by looking. I'm pleased to say that I think this idea of perfectionism and we've got to be perfect, we've got to look a certain way and rah-de-rah-de-rah, is actually falling by the wayside. And I think AI is going to help with this because, I don't know about you, but when I look on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, I do not believe anything. I don't believe the videos I see. And when I say videos, I'm not talking about, some random woman's, or don't have to be random, some woman's just gone live. You can normally tell that that's not AI generated because, well, they do what I do. They pause and they forget. And they're just normal. It's not perfect. So I believe that stuff. I'm talking about when you fall for the dogs or the cats and they're doing really cute stuff. I saw one the other day. These dogs were rescuing kids, like cups were falling off tables, and if the cup had fallen on the kid, it would have hit them on the head and, maybe killed them. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. What great dogs. And then I realised it was completely AI generated. I saw a video of Prince William boogieing the other day. Of course, that wasn't real. So I think we are struggling. I think there's a big trust issue at the moment. I think we're struggling to believe what we see online. And for a long time, I have not believed what I read. It may be factually correct, but you can read it and you go, do you know what? Your grammar is totally improved. Your sentence structure is massively improved because you never used to write like that. And I think there's this, it almost creates this barrier of, we know that person hasn't written that post because it's too perfect and it's too... I can tell my English. It's not the grammar, is it? But that the word structure, and they're just using words that you wouldn't normally use, and it's just not everyday normal speak. And I think you go, oh, say AI generated. And what I've noticed now is people almost wanting to catch them out, because humans don't like to be tricked, do we? We certainly don't want to be the butt of anyone's joke, so we don't want to look daft or embarrassed. So now I think we're almost looking for, well, that's AI generated and that's not real, almost as a, well, like I say, we don't want to look daft. So, like I say, there's this massive... I am going somewhere with this. I'm not rambling. But trust me. I think there's this trust recession. I heard somebody call it the other day. I thought it's a really good description. This trust recession. So actually, doing podcasts in your car, doing live videos in your car, and do you know what? For some reason, I've done loads of videos in this car park, and it's never bothered me. But for some reason, doing a podcast, I think it's because in my head, again, it comes back to these wanky thoughts. And when I say wanky thoughts, I just mean thoughts that keep you in your comfort zone, keep you, or stop you taking action, stop you doing the stuff that is going to move the needle on your business. I've totally lost the trail of thought now. A car's just gone by of someone I've recognised, and I've totally lost where I was going with this. I was talking about podcasts, wasn't I? And I don't know, it'll come back. It's menopause. It'll come back. This idea of being perfect. Oh, that's it, podcasts. See, it's come back. Yeah, so this idea that podcasts should be perfect. Now, me losing my trail of thought there and going menopause, the old me would have cut that out. But the new me is going, yeah, but people my age, I'm 46, right? I'm not 100% sure if I'm perimenopausal. Probably I am, because sometimes I forget my own name. Other women of my age, aka my ideal clients, are also having the brain fog and forgetting, what day it is and forgetting how to put basic sentences together. So all of this stuff is relatable. And it also, we talk about this trust recession, it's also saying, actually, I am real. Because if AI had created this podcast or written me a script, it certainly wouldn't have forgotten what it was talking about or gone off on a tangent or spoke about menopausal moments. So all of this stuff that we would have once thought, oh, it's not professional, or we shouldn't do that, or it's not perfect. Actually, this is the hill I'm going to die on, because this is what I totally believe. This is the stuff that's actually going to get you clients. Because since I have stepped more into my, I do not want to use the word authentic, but my real voice. Because 3 months ago, I wouldn't have used the word wanky thoughts, because I can't put that on LinkedIn. People will think I'm rude. Is it swearing? Christ, what will my dad think? Will people think I'm trying to be clever, or I don't know, whatever rubbish enters your head. So I'd have gone, well, how can I tone it down a bit? But actually, like it or lump it, this is how I talk. I'm northern, I don't know many long words. I do use things like wank and wanky and shite and these kind of words. So why am I toning myself down? Why am I pretending that I'm not posh, but I used to pretend I was not posh, but I used to pretend I wasn't northern almost. I didn't change my accent, but I had what I call a telephone voice. When I used to do videos, be like, oh, hello. So today I'm going, and it just wasn't me. So I have always tried to be the real me. But what I realised was I'm probably still censoring myself because of this idea that we need to be perfect, we need to be polished, and we need to be a certain way. And I think it is, well, I'm going to say what I really think. I think it's a crock of shit. Because who wants carbon copies of everybody? And actually, the realism about me and the northernism and the words I use and how I describe things and me kind of deadpan humour and me straight talking, no nonsense, no fluff, save your bullshit vibes. That's why my clients love me. That's why they come to me, because they know, what I say is the truth and I'm not going to let them wallow in their excuses. That's why they work with me. So, and the more that I have leaned into that real, 100% real, I'm not going to use the word authentic, version of me, so many more people have messaged me. When you send like a weekly newsletter, so many more people have gone, oh my God, Helen, it's so refreshing and you're so honest and I love your tone and I love your take on things. And people have even said to me, oh my God, I love the wanky headline. And I even put a thing on LinkedIn. It was a post because my dad had gone, Helen, you cannot say that and that's swearing. And then I asked Chris, my husband, he was like, oh, Helen, I don't like swearing. He said, it's not, I won't use it. And I was like, it's not swearing, it's wanky. So I put a poll up going, is wank a swear word? Some people were like, yeah, but I love it. And one bloke was like, oh my God, that's the reason I've just followed you, because I love your headline so much. So I'm probably going off on a bit of a tangent here. What time is it? Is it time for pickup? Oh, nearly. Yeah, let's just ditch this idea that we need to be perfect. So just if I haven't laboured this point enough, you do not need to look perfect. You do not need to have the perfect dress size, whatever that is. Look a certain way, sound a certain way, use certain words, be polished, be preened, have freshly blow-dried hair every day, a full face of makeup, to do a video or a podcast or pitch to be in a bigger room or be at a networking event or speak on a bigger stage. We do not need any of the pretend. We don't need any, what's the word? Pretend is not the right word, but we don't need any of the bullshit. We just need you. And I guarantee that you will get more clients. Work will feel easier because it's so much easier to show up as you than the polished version of you or somebody completely different. Your audience will relate to you. Now, don't get me wrong, you will repel people. Not everybody is going to, unfortunately, love the real you. Now, it doesn't mean to say that they hate you and, you know, they can't stand the sight of you. It just means that, I say this to my kids, not everybody is everybody's cup of tea. Don't mean to say you don't like them. You're just like, I just don't want to spend a lot of time with you. I don't want to sit next to you at lunch. I don't want to play with you. And it's the same thing for adults. You know, not everybody is going to love you. It don't mean to say you're wrong and they're right and you're horrible and they're lovely. It just means that you wouldn't go down the pub and have a glass of wine with them or share a meal with them or have a cup of coffee with them. And that is okay. Like, let's just get happy and content with, or comfortable, that's a better word, comfortable with, not everyone's going to like us, but the people who do like us, if we show up, I'm not going to use the word authentic, the real us, I guarantee people will be magnetised to you. They will be, you know, that's when people go, oh my God, I just love it. And they become like these raving fans. And they start to remember stuff about you and they remember your videos. They start referring you to other people. They start asking you to come on their podcasts and speak at their events. I promise you, if you drop this idea that you need to be perfect and everything needs to be polished and, you know, before it can go out, if you drop that, I promise you that life will get easier, your business will get easier, you'll get more clients. And not only will you get more clients, you'll get better clients. And when I say better clients, I just mean clients that you enjoy working with. It's this cup of tea thing again. You know, clients that you go, oh my God, I just love them. I'd be best mates with them. Because life is much nicer when we, well, let's be honest, when we like working with our clients. We've all had clients that we've gone, oh my God, you drive me up the bleeding wall. You're getting on my tits. You're annoying me. I don't want your money. We've all had those clients. But we've also had those clients where we go, oh my God, I could do this all day. Even if you weren't paying me, I'd talk to you. Because we just like those people. So drop this idea that you've got to be a certain way. And this takes, you know what, this takes a lot of practice. So I'm saying this now as someone who has had to work really hard on this. Because I wasn't born this, well actually we're all born this way, and then life comes and kicks us around the head and tells us we're crap, and we get these wanky thoughts and then they're in our computers in our head and they run our life on autopilot. So we aren't born with them, but you know, we've all got these wanky thoughts because we all live in the same world and we're all human and we're all wired the same. But the good news is we can get rid of these wanky thoughts. So I am living proof. So I'm not the finished article. I still have wanky thoughts. I'm still human. I still live in this crazy world we call planet Earth. So I still have these thoughts, but I'm really good now at being able to manage them and separate, not always, but separate fact from fiction and go, that's not even my thoughts, that's just some wanky thought that's got in my head. And once you do that, once you're able to spot, this is just a wanky thought playing on repeat, like a bloody broken record going around in your head, then you can start to go, well, I don't need to listen to it. I don't need that to then define the action that I take or the behaviours that I have or the thing I do next. And the glorious thing happens is when you start to recognise these wanky thoughts, then you can start to change them. Then you can start to do something about them, because without going too geeky, because I could geek out on this stuff all day. If we look to neuroscience to help us, this idea of neuroplasticity, which I'm sure you've heard of, is this idea that we can change our minds, we can change the thoughts that come up. We can rewire those thoughts. So, of course, we've got to spot what wanky story we're telling ourselves to start with. Then we can identify, right, I'm having a wanky thought moment. Then we can start to reprogram them. But it all starts with changing that belief that I don't need to be perfect. So, what is the time? The time is, look at that, 3:47. It's almost 4 o'clock. So, I'll just finish my cup of tea off and go and collect the kids from school, and then go home and start my second job of being a mum. Put the tea on, do the washer and dishwasher and all that jazz, bath, bedtime, and maybe put my feet up sometime in about 4 or 5 hours. So I'll love you and leave you. Have a great day, and no doubt tomorrow when I come to do the pickup, I'll record my next episode. So have a great evening, whatever you're doing. Oh, and I'd like to hear from you as well. Let me know if any of this resonated. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Also, let me know if you didn't enjoy it, because I won't lose too much sleep. But I'd love to hear if you enjoyed it. See you soon.